Hey there everybody, welcome back, episode 3. We're talking about life after TEDx because obviously it was a very busy day. We had 9 speakers. Marsha did her presentation about the family cafe and the things that she'd done on the ground and the resources that she'd managed to work with. Now 2013's rolled about and you've got a whole new agenda for what you want to do.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about later on about twinning and stuff in the next episode, but who are the people that have got behind you and why do you think they have got behind you?
Well, the first person to come up to me was Paul Moran from Capital One.
Yeah.
And he said if I can be involved in any way, they have stuff to do with their own canteen that he was interested in sorting out. But he continued to be a really helpful contact. And we had various other people coming up and offering to do volunteering, chefing. Graham Gardner from Aspiring came up and said, do you need some money for funding? Robert Howard Smith came up and said, do you need a venue? So literally, within the space of 10 minutes, I've made some fantastic contacts. And bit by bit, I've been sort of sorting out a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, like to get it into a presentable model to pitch it to people. But what I really realised is that I was putting huge amounts of work in it, but that I wasn't getting paid, and that I needed to really... First of all, I was going to give it the job to someone else, and I thought, no, I've got it this far. Actually, I should steer it, and actually, that's what I actually wanted to do. So post TEDx, really, it's just been sort of drilling down into it and then just approaching people for money. I've got Nottingham City Council have given me some money. The Renewal Trust have given me a little bit of money. I'm applying for some lottery funding, which looks like it's probably going to be okay. Then Capital One have given me £10,000. I just went in and just did the mega pitch. The lady who's head of corporate social responsibility, she actually wanted to set up a community cafe, so we were totally on the same wavelength. And Capital One have just been wicked. They're going to come and help out with the budgeting. I've got a meeting with them in a week or two.
Amazing.
Again, they've just, they've come up with the money and they've actually said, okay, send. It was that easy. I said, can I have some money? They said, yeah, here's £10,000. Send me an email. I said, can you send over your bank details?
I think it's quite incredible that you can put on a series of events and know. I think that's one of the things that's been missing for me from a lot of people's pitches and ideas, and probably a lot of people look in and say, "Well, Phil, you should be telling us how to do this, that, and the other." You didn't just pitch something; you actually went and physically set up a cafe, service some people, prove the concept. You actually went out and proved the concept, and then to put it in front of people at something like a TEDx. I just find it hugely interesting how events like that can make a corporate. Because you just think of corporates as being big, scary, monolithic kind of people you can't approach.
But they've got dough and they need to look good, and that's been cynical. But also they've got stuff that they want to actually be involved in. And you have to realise that's what I've learned from doing this stuff to do with Family Cafe, is that when you go and approach the person, it's not the corporation anymore. Yes, they're representing. It happened to be that the lady that's involved there, she wanted to set up her own community cafe. So she was already thinking about this. Like, she was actually going to come and volunteer. She's going to come and volunteer some cooking.
So what happens to Secret Kitchen and Marsha now? How does that money help? What does it do? What does it enable?
Well, when it actually turns up, we're going to sit and divide it up in terms of, if we've got press and publicity, then we need to do bits and pieces like mechanical things like getting the leaflets printed and disseminated through the schools. Signing up, some of it's just me paid work for the legwork.
So it's admin for the time.
Bits and bobs. But also it's stuff like getting the pans bought and the tablecloths and other bits and bobs like that. So it's just the physical things you need to actually run a cafe.
Are they the sponsors that you would have originally thought about?
No, I wouldn't have even thought about going for corporate sponsorship. It just didn't occur to me. I just wasn't even thinking that in terms of that sort of thing. I was thinking I might have to take out a personal loan, just like I did to get the cafe going.
I think a lot of people think like that.
But I just thought I would have done it because I just believed it would work. Once you start getting this positive response, what I really realised after the TEDx thing was what a brilliant concept I'd hit upon, even though to me it was so obvious. I think the fact is, like you're saying about you giving a pitch, yes, it's a big corporation, but when you're really, really passionate about something, it travels very, very easily to people. And also when you've got a very simple concept that you've been doing for the last year or so, you can walk in there and you can totally say it works, and you could speak in absolute truth. So
looking at the year ahead, there's going to be some funding there. You're going to get things covered. There's going to be money to do admin. You're going to be able to do it at a better quality than you did last year. If there's any other sponsors that you would want to work with, who are the people that you would like to work with? I mean, like, you've been to supermarkets, talked to them about waste. Who are the things that do you see and go, oh, they need to change, or they need to think about their corporate responsibility? Anybody particularly comes to mind?
I think I just think it's maybe someone could get nice things off, really, like shoes or something like that. But I don't really think I could. I could wangle that in somewhere.
I definitely could see you doing some sort of Tom's kind of environment with buy one get one free kind of thing.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking to get it up and running. I sort of seem to think that these sort of things seem to happen quite organically for me. When you're in the flow of things and you're really passionate about something, like with all your own stuff, it just a couple of links down the line, something happens that you would not have foreseen. I can trust that it's a really good idea and that it's moving forward of its own sort of motion. And I have ways that I want to steer it and some directions I want to go, which we'll talk about in a bit. But I definitely think I need you to just get it up and running, just get the food dished out and actually do what I'm good at, which is making pies.
Cool. Making pies. You do more than making pies. That food this morning was amazing. That's it for episode 3. We're just coming over 5 minutes. Episode 4, we're going to be talking about Capital One, twinning with Sarasota, and Food Hub and social enterprise advice that's been taken so far. Catch up with us in episode 4.